in supine pose, making our way to the mat. Lowering ourselves down gently, one vertebrae at a time. Shoulders, head, go ahead and extend the legs long on the mat. Allowing the arms to fall open, palms are facing up. And we'll start with a few deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Noticing the contact that our bodies make on the mat below. Noticing the sounds of the space around us. And running through a body scan from head to toe, making note of all the sensations in our body and the energy, noticing areas of comfort and possible discomfort. Noticing areas of heaviness or lightness. And as we go through today's practice, I'll encourage each of us to explore those areas of discomfort that we find along the way, perhaps reflecting on their shape, size, temperature, or texture. Not trying to change anything, not trying to change sensations or emotions, but just being aware of them. Being more aware of our sensations keeps us more present in the moment and enables us to create a little more headspace and a more fluid connection between our brains and our gut and our brain. Breathing in curiosity. And exhaling any judgment, competition, or expectation for our practice. Bringing our awareness to the breath. And now to the left leg, we're going to bring our knee into our chest and give it a little hug. Starting off, bringing the knee towards the chest a little bit tighter. We will slowly move through some twists and happy babies on each side. All the while taking note of any areas of discomfort. And again, just exploring what those sensations may be telling us. And perhaps we'll notice a slight change in the sensations throughout our practice. Maintaining a steady rhythm of breath. We'll allow the left leg to float back to the earth, either in bridge pose or extended, and then we'll bring the right knee into the chest. Same thing, gently bringing the knee towards the chest, hugging it in, keeping it a little bit tighter into the body to start. Being aware of the breath and how it might change. Noticing if we start to hold our breath as we get closer to discomfort, closer to areas of tension, emotions that we might not be ready for. And as usual, we're not here to push too far, too fast. We just ease off a little bit. Good. Extending the right leg back along the earth or in bridge pose if that feels more comfortable on the lower back. And we'll hug the left knee all the way back in. Few breaths here. Good. Bringing the left knee across the body, gentle twist, extending the left arm away from the shoulder, and gently bringing the left knee towards the earth, keeping our shoulder blades down, maybe gazing over to the left of towards our hand. Listening to our bodies, no competition. Honoring the state of our body in this moment and maintaining the presence on the sensations. Maybe noticing the body melt towards the earth, releasing tension slowly and gently. Calm, steady rhythm of breath and a gentle focus on the physical sensations. Back to center. The left knee is still tucked towards our chest. We're going to come into our happy baby, either grabbing onto the big toe with our 2 fingers, wrapping the hand around the inside or the outside of the foot, whatever feels most comfortable. Drawing the knee in towards the armpit, towards the side of the body. Keeping our shoulder blades firmly planted as well as both hips. Great. Bringing the left ankle across the right thigh, and we'll hug into a figure 4 pose. Bringing the hands either on top of the knee or behind the thigh, interlacing the fingers, option to rock side to side, option to draw the right knee in towards the chest. Bringing our awareness back to the sensations, checking in with the hips, the lower back, perhaps even down the back of the left leg. Can we maintain our calm, steady rhythm of breath? do our last pose on this side, floating our right foot back to the earth, to the outer edge of the mat, planting the foot, and then allowing the knees to fall over to the left, either crossing the legs completely or staying in our figure four, coming into a gentle twist here. If that's feeling too intense, we can allow the left foot to fall to the earth. Option to keep the arms alongside the body, bring them to our abdomen or float them above our head, whatever feels best. Not trying to change sensations that we might be feeling, but again, exploring them. What color might we be attributing to them? How might they feel? What size might they have, or shape? Do we feel a sense of lightness or heaviness in any part of our body? Two more breaths here. Good. And then we'll come back to center, hugging both knees into our chest, wrapping our arms or our hands on top of the shins, rolling around. Gently moving into the hips, gently. Option to bring the head up or keep it down. We'll float through that same sequence on the opposite leg. So bringing the right knee back into the chest, option to keep the left foot on the earth or floating it long. Checking both positions. And then we'll slowly bring the right knee towards the outside of the body, coming into happy baby, either grabbing onto the big toe, inside or the outside of the foot. Keeping our hips and our shoulder blades on the mat, feeling the contact that our body makes. And we'll bring our right knee across the body, grabbing onto it with our left hand, extending our right arm out, and gently, slowly starting to bring the right foot towards the earth, maybe gazing over to the right side. Again, no competition, no expectation. We may be in a different place that we were last time we were on the mat. We honor the state of our bodies. We allow ourselves to melt into the pose, reminding our bodies that we are safe to let go of the tension, the stress, the emotion that we may be holding. Trusting our breath to guide us. Gently coming out of that, rolling back to center, bringing the right ankle over the left thigh, hugging the left leg in, figure 4, bringing the hands behind the leg or on top of the shin, head up or down, rolling side to side or finding stillness. Finding the pose that fits our body in this moment. Maintaining our sense of curiosity. And we'll slowly allow the left foot to float back to the mat, to the outer edge. And then we'll come over to the right, lowering our knees, either in eagle or in figure 4, depending on the level of intensity that we're ready for. Finding a position for our hands, either on our abdomen, on the floor, or floated above our heads. Once again, bringing our awareness to any sensations of discomfort, where we may be holding energy, and exploring those color attributes, size, shape, texture, temperature. Three more breaths here. And then we'll slowly float our legs back to center, hugging them in gently, rolling around if you like, head up or down. We'll slowly roll over to the side and come into Bandha Konasana with our feet together, soles of our feet pressing together, tucking the heels in towards us, keeping our hands either on the ankles or wrapped around the outer edge of the feet. Go ahead and butterfly the knees to start, rolling our shoulders back. Tall torso, finding length between the tailbone, the neck, and the crown of the head. And then slowly settling into the pose, keeping our feet firmly planted together. We're going to hinge forward. Checking in with the hips, slowly melting ourselves towards the earth, not forcing anything. We're allowing our bodies to slowly melt. Perhaps we release our hands, perhaps we just allow this to be a passive stretch. Maintaining a steady rhythm of breath, awareness, again on any areas of discomfort. Becoming more centered, focused, and present with each sensation. Noticing if we're holding and shifting our attention to our jaw or our face, seeing if we can't let that go. And noticing those sensations bring with them a certain temperature. Perhaps we're starting to feel heat running up our spine, extending from the vertebrae. Two more big breaths here. And we'll stack the vertebrae using our hands to press ourselves back up gently. And we'll extend our legs wide on the mat. Reaching and extending the feet towards the outer edges, bringing our hips to the back of the mat, and then we can slowly press ourselves forward. Good. We'll start off with a side bend, bringing our left hand over our shoulder. The right fingertips can walk out, and we can slowly reach over towards the right leg, allowing the right hand to fall where it will naturally. Maybe we want a dynamic stretch here, adding intensity, or we can just allow the body to fall where it will naturally. Reaching the left arm over the ear, or bringing it behind our back, or even on our head if we need a little bit of support. Both hands are there, we can use them as needed, keeping our left hip firmly grounded. And slowly melting over to the right side, creating space from the left fingertips down through the left hip. And again, noticing if we've shifted any tension to our jaws or our faces. Small micro movements as we add a little depth. We'll slowly start to lower our left arm towards the earth, pivoting our torso over the right leg. Bringing both hands now to the earth, finding length in our torso as we hinge over the right leg. Once again, noticing any energy that might be running from the left shoulder through to the left side of the lower back. Noticing what's happening in the inner thigh. And we'll gently press ourselves back up, coming back to center. We lift our right arm over our shoulder, and we come over into a side bend, opposite side. Allowing the left hand this time to fall where it will, reaching the right arm as tall as we can, or finding a different placement, however suits our body. Noticing different sensations on this side, monitoring our breath, just making sure that we're maintaining a calm, steady rhythm of breath so as not to push too far, too fast. Noticing the energy running from the right fingertips, down the arm, through the side body, into the lower back and hip, keeping our right hip firmly grounded. we'll slowly start to lower the right arm, pivoting our torso over the extended leg. Bringing both hands to the earth, elongating the torso with our inhalation, and then exhale, we hinge forward. Maybe we keep our toes pointed to the sky, seeing how that feels in the calf muscle and the hamstring. Perhaps even noticing what's happening between the right shoulder and the right hip. Noticing our body release tension slowly, celebrating the micro gains that we're making. Two more breaths. And we'll press ourselves back up, stacking the vertebrae one at a time. We come back to center. Slow and steady. Good. Bringing the feet back together in front of us, releasing under the knees. Butterflying the knees once again. So go ahead and wrap the hands around the back of the feet. Tall torso, bringing the shoulder blades in and back. We'll extend our right leg long on the mat, keeping our left leg tucked in, seated tree pose. Shifting our hips over to the right side of the mat, we'll come up into a wild thing, flip dog prep. So bringing our left hand under the shoulder, we're going to plant the right foot, shifting the hips up, reaching over our faces or our ears. Finding a gentle back bend here, opening the chest, lifting it high. Opening between both hands. Pressing the hips up, glutes are engaged. Calm, steady rhythm of breath. And we release out of that, coming all the way back down. We'll repeat on the other side. So tucking the right foot back in, coming into our seated tree, left leg extends long on the mat, gentle shift of the hips to the left. Bringing our right hand under our shoulder. Once again, we reach the left arm up over the face, planting the left foot, hips are pressing high. And we notice the space we're creating between our hands, running all the way down both arms across the chest. Gentle back bend, engaging the glutes, protecting the lower back. Excellent. We'll come out of that gently, coming into all fours. Gentle transition here. Bringing the knees under our hips, hands under our shoulders, grabbing a sip of water in between. If you're feeling that would help at this point. Once we get into all fours, we'll shift our hips left to right, allowing our head to sway with the momentum. Just allowing our bodies to find a rhythm that feels good. Not thinking, just intuitively moving. Noticing what might be happening in our neck, our shoulders, our hips, our lower back. Two more breaths. And then we'll all meet up in neutral. Curling our toes under our shins, we'll step up into a down dog. Deep breaths in. And on the exhale, we lift the hips high, pressing the knees and the heels back. Option to pedal, option to shift the weight left and right. Now checking in from the lower back down the outer edges of the legs into the ankles and the feet. Finding grounding of our hands. Noticing if we're holding our breath. Two more big breaths. And then we'll all come back to center. Pressing both heels towards the earth, firm grounding of our fingers. Finding length in the back body. Allowing the head to hang heavy through our arms. And we'll lift our left leg off the earth, letting it float high. Pressing all of our weight into the right heel. Gazing forward, coming up on the toes of the right foot, we'll step through into a lunge, nice and gentle, keeping our hands firmly planted. We're on the toes of the right foot. We're slowly going to hinge forward, onto the toes, and back, forward, and back. Slowly starting to straighten the left leg as and when possible. Inhale forward, exhale back. Breathing length into the left hamstring. Maybe starting to peel the toes of the left foot off the mat. Maybe starting to tuck the chin into the chest with those exhalations as we straighten over the left leg. Keeping our chest hovering tight to the left thigh. One more, and then we're going to hold. With the left leg straight, the toes are pointing up, holding here. Wherever the leg allows, we hinge forward, keeping our chests close to our thigh. No expectation. Breathing length into the left leg. Allowing the head to remain heavy between the arms. Two more breaths, keeping the toes lifted. Torso is long. And on the next inhale, we'll flatten the left foot. We'll come all the way down the right knee, the right foot. Bringing our chests through, sinking into the right hip flexor. Maybe walking the left foot out for a little more stability. Option to bring the hands onto the thigh, a block, whatever might feel most stabilizing. We're breathing into the right hip flexor here. So again, options, finding our stability. Maybe we lift the chest high. Calm, steady rhythm of breath. planting our right hand. Twisting option here. Maybe walking the left foot out a little bit wider. Option to press the left thigh away. Option to reach all the way back, holding here. And of course, we have the option to add a quadriceps. Quadriceps stretch in, grabbing onto the right foot, finding whatever pose feels best for us in this moment. Noticing what part of our body needs the nourishment and attention a little bit more. We're not collapsing, we maintain a tall torso, calm, steady rhythm of breath, noticing micro gains as energy starts to flow a little bit more fluidly. Two more breaths here. And we'll come back to center, bringing both hands to the earth, curling the toes of the right foot underneath us. We're going to step all the way up, back to our lunge and forward fold, bringing the right foot under the hip. Inhale halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up, extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart. Deep breath in between. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. And we're going to step back with the left foot. Back into our starting lunge. High on the toes of the left foot, and we'll slowly hinge forward and back. Working into the right leg. Keeping our torsos tall, the chest is close to the thigh. Moving with our breath. Slowly starting to straighten the right leg, maybe starting to peel the toes off the mat. Maybe not. Two more. And then we'll hold, bringing the toes of the right leg off the earth. Pyramid pose, elongating the torso over top of the right leg. Option to keep the torso elongated, option to hang the head heavy. Finding a pose that suits us and enables us to create space where we have blockage. Making sure we're not holding tension in our jaw. Now we'll slowly hinge forward, planting the toes of the right foot, coming into a low lunge, opening up the left hip flexor. The left knee and the left foot come to the earth. We find stability, keeping our hands on the earth or bringing them to our thigh, whatever feels most stable. We have our blocks, of course, to bring underneath a hand. We slowly sink into the left hip flexor, allowing it to open slowly. Calm and confident, assuring our bodies that we are safe here. We can start to let go of what doesn't serve us. Gentle awareness of our breath. Celebration of micro gains as tension starts to release. Bringing our left hand to the earth. Maybe walking our right foot a little bit farther on the mat, maybe pressing the right knee away, working into the hip. Perhaps we want to rotate back, reaching our right hand, maybe reaching for the left foot if a quadricep stretch is what we need. Finding what our body needs and holding that. Maintaining an elongated spine. We're pressing the earth away with our left hand, not collapsing, elongating. Gazing over the right shoulder. Again, noticing any patterns tension that we might have, just being aware of them. We're not here to change them, just noticing them, noticing how they change, how they transform, just like emotions, just like stresses in our day. Nothing is ever permanent. Three more breaths. And we come back to center, bringing both hands to the earth, curling our toes under our shin, stepping up into our lunge, and forward fold. Bringing both feet under our hips, inhaling halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Micro bend in the knees, inhale, sweeping the arms all the way up, extended mountain, holding here, reaching palms up, pressing the palms together, gentle back bend. Good, exhale, hands to heart center. Deep breath in between. Running through a body scan, checking in with the energy from head to toe. Good. Bringing our left leg out, we'll come into a single leg tree, crossing the left leg all the way over our right thigh, either holding here or sinking down. Perhaps noticing what happens in the outer hip. Finding somewhere to gaze at, our palms continue to press together, rounding our shoulders back, shoulder blades are drawn in, down the spine. Actively pressing the left knee towards the earth. 2 more breaths. And then we're going to hinge forward, diving our hands to the earth. Forward fold, maintaining our tree pose as best as possible. Pressing the right knee towards the back of the room. Letting our heads hang heavy. Coming out of that just as we came in, bending the right knee. Hands come back to our heart, pressing the palms together, and we come to standing. Give that a little shake. Other side, maybe wiggling the ankles. Deep breath in between. And we'll do the other leg, crossing the right ankle over the left thigh. Palms are pressed together. Option to stay here. Option to float down. Sinking into the right hip. Actively pressing the right knee away. Engaging the glutes. Pressing the palms together. Shoulder blades are drawn in and down. Tall torso, finding length from the tailbone through to the crown of the head. calm, steady rhythm of breath, somewhere to gaze at. Maybe we work through an affirmation to work through any wobbles. Two more breaths. And then we can hinge forward, diving our hands to the earth. Slowly pressing the left knee towards the back of the room. Heavy head, letting it hang between our arms. And we come out of this just as we came in, bending the left knee, palms together, finding stability, and then we come to standing, releasing our right leg, giving it a little shake, shaking out the ankles. Great, back to the front of our mats, inhaling, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, swooping forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, forward fold, stepping all the way back into a plank. Hands are under our shoulders. We'll lower ourselves down gently, wrapping the elbows forward, tucking them into our sides, coming into prone pose, flattening the feet, lifting our chest off the earth, either into a cobra or into an upward facing dog, whatever feels good for you, keeping the elbows tucked in or straightening, gently bending into the back, breathing into it. Noticing an opening of the abdomen and the chest. And we lower the chest back down. Bringing our hands alongside our bodies, palms are facing up, chin or forehead can come to the mat. Just allowing our body to settle into prone pose for a few breaths. Noticing the softening of our faces, the melting of our shoulders towards the earth, the gravity taking hold of the vertebrae, extending outwards from each vertebrae all the way down through the spine. Noticing the natural curvature of the tailbone and the hips, how they melt towards the earth. Breathing into the abdomen, noticing it pressing into the mat. Drawing the breath all the way from the abdomen through the chest and into the head. Two more big breaths. We'll bring our hands under our shoulders, curling our toes, bringing the feet together. We'll press back into a child's pose, kneeling plank. Option to keep the knees together, option to open the knees to make a little bit of space for our torso. Extending the arms long, maybe shifting the hips. Finding the child's pose that suits us in this moment. Pressing the hips back towards the heels. Perhaps we use our block under our forehead or our fists. Again, we're not pushing anything too far, too fast. Just honoring the state of our body. Once again, bringing our awareness to any areas of discomfort. Exploring the sensations. Noticing if they may have changed since the beginning of our practice. Perhaps reflecting on
any intention we may have set at the beginning of our practice, perhaps the motivation to get to the mat today. Checking in with the breath. Has it changed since the beginning of our practice? Have we noticed that we're holding it as we get closer to discomfort, as we get closer to our emotions? And what can we do to steady our breath and to maintain our presence in each moment as we witness transformation? On the next inhale, we'll press ourselves up with our hands, stacking our vertebrae, coming into rock pose. And we'll curl our toes underneath our shins, making sure the pinky toes are also curled under, and bringing our arms into eagle, maybe the left under the right. We'll do both, it doesn't matter. Palms are together. Noticing if the abdomen is being held really tightly, seeing if we can soften it. Gentle expression on our faces. An option to inhale, lifting the arms. Exhale, lowering. Flowing with our breath. One more. And we'll slowly release out of that, releasing out of our toes pose, tapping out the tops of the feet, rolling the ankles. And then we'll reset. Option to keep the toes pose, curling them underneath us. And then we bring our arms back into eagle, maybe the right arm under the left, whichever is the opposite. Palms together, noticing our abdomen, if we can let it loosen a little bit. And then on the inhale, we can lift our arms, exhale, lowering. Gentle expression on our faces. Building resilience, knowing that we won't be here forever. The sensations will be shifted in a matter of breaths. One more. Inhale up. Exhale, we lower. And we come out of that gently. Bring our hands to the earth, tapping out our feet, rolling the ankles. And then we float our way back into rock pose with our feet firmly planted on the earth. Inhaling, bringing our hands to heart center, palms are together. Rolling the shoulders back and down. Deep breaths in through the nose, and we can sigh it out through the mouth. One more, just like that. Noticing muscles in our faces and our shoulders melt towards the earth. Taking a moment to give thanks for our bodies, the determination of our mind to get to the mat, taking time for ourselves, and the presence that we gave to each moment. Bring our awareness to the beat of our hearts, filling our hearts and our minds with gratitude. And perhaps we want to reflect on somebody or something that has happened to us in recent days that made us smile and feel loved or supported. We keep that gratitude close to us as we move into Valentine's Day. And we allow our gratitude, our compassion for others to illuminate the way. And thank you all for joining me today. I wish you a floaty continuation. Namaste.